Welcome to JMR Talks again. In the last episode, we started looking at the choices a manager has before us. Let us continue from where we left. The next choice before a manager is whether he should be compassionate or violent in his behavior. We had two great kings, one King Ashoka and the other is King Alexander. King Ashoka, after the Kalinga War, after witnessing the human misery and all that, he completely changed himself and became very compassionate in his approach. The Alexander, inspired by his great guru, the Aristotle, started on a mission to conquer the entire world, but ultimately he died at Babylonia in a miserable condition. In the current environment, thanks to the what called COVID, people were going through very tough times. They were stressed. So, what should be the approach of a manager towards his team members? Naturally, compassion. Empathy will not do. Mere empathy means you're only sympathizing with the pain of the people. But when you say compassion, you're going beyond that. You're trying to alleviate the pain of your people. The next choice, would you like to be proactive or reactive? We all have issues about performance management. Nowadays, people are talking about periodical feedback system. So Narad was the brand ambassador of Lord Vishnu, too had his own complaints. So he went to Lord Vishnu. Sir, I'm your brand ambassador. 24 by 7, 365 days. I keep chanting your name going around the world. But hardly there is a place where I could find my photograph. Whereas everywhere it is Garud, not me. Lord Vishnu, he smiled. Meanwhile, there was some disturbance outside, Lord Vishnu's palace. Then the Lord Vishnu said, Hey Nara, please find out. Like a Hussein Bolt, within a fraction of a second, Narad goes and comes back and reports, Sir, one milkmaid tripped. Then the Vishnu says, What was she carrying? Then Narad once again he goes, comes like a waterfall in a flash of seconds, says that she was carrying 6 liters of milk. Then Vishnu, asks how much milk is left with. She is with. Then Narad once again goes back and reports she is still left with 2 liters of milk. And then Vishnu says that is she willing to sell? Then once again Narad goes and reports back yes, she is willing to sell at a discount because Lakshmi Devi is there, so she'll get some discount and all that. Now after all this, the Garud enters the scene. Lord Vishnu doesn't share the Narad's complaints, but simply asks Garud, Garud, there was a disturbance outside the palace. Could you please check up? Then Garud goes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't come. And then Narad goes to Lord Vishnu. Sir, look at him. His attitude. Every fraction of a second, I was going, inspecting, coming back, and reporting. This guy must have been there, sir, near Secunderabad railway station, sipping a nice that blue sea coffee. After some time, the Garud enters. Like an executive summary, he informs Vishnu that one milkmaid who was carrying milk tripped in front of the palace and she was left with only 2 liters of milk. So since Lakshmi Mata is there, I convinced her to sell the milk at a discount rate. To sum it up, what is the difference between Narad and Garud? Narad's was more of a reactive approach, whereas Garud's was more of a what we call proactive approach. The next choice, 90 is 10 principle. It is said 10% of life is what happens to us, whereas 90% of our life is how we react. Once, a father was getting ready to attend a meeting at his office. So his loving daughter comes and says, Papa, shall I make a cup of coffee? You all know that we fathers love our daughters. So once the coffee is ready, in her anxiety to serve, she spills over a little bit of coffee for the brand new shirt. Now there are two situations. Situation one, he was wearing a what of a brand new shirt and had to attend an important meeting. He gets irritated, shouts at his daughter. The entire atmosphere gets vitiated, and with a disturbed mind, he goes to the office and he shouts at his people, blah blah blah. The situation two, he reconciles. In a moment, he composes himself. He says, Beta, no problem. I'll change my shirt and come. So meanwhile, his wife offers him to make a cup of tea for himself. So he goes up, changes his shirt, comes down, sips a cup of tea served by his wife, drops her daughter at the college, and goes to the office, smiling. So it's in our hands how we create. Let's not forget that 10% of life, what happens to us, but 90% of life is how we react. The next choice, never judge anyone. People might say that face is the index of mind. Not always. Once an old couple reportedly visited Harvard. So they went to the executive assistant, to the director, that we would like to meet the director. Then she said, No, director is busy. You can't want to see him. Then the old couple said, Okay, we'll wait. So they went and sat in the waiting room. So lunchtime is over. When the assistant was going for lunch, she saw the old couple and said, Okay, I already told you the director is busy. So the old couple said, No, we'll wait. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, around 4:30, while going for tea, she once again, looked at these people and took sympathy. She goes to the director, said there's an old couple. They would like to see you for a minute. Director says, looking at his watch, okay, 5 minutes. Then the couple come inside. Sir, our son was at your Harvard. Last year he died in an accident. We wish to construct a memorial. Before even the couple could complete the sentence, a memorial at Harvard? He looks at his assistant. Come on, tell us. How much does it cost to construct a memorial? So she starts reeling out the figures and all that. Meanwhile, the old lady turns to her husband and asks in a hush hush voice, How much does it cost to set up a university? The director overhears, What? University? Then he asks the assistant, Tell them how much does it cost to set up a university? After that, old couple, they leave saying sorry. And it is said, I don't know the veracity of this story, but the message is very good. It was the couple who set up what called Stanford University. So let us not underestimate anyone at the face of it. Once a doctor, having completed the operation, was coming out of the operation theater and started running away. Then the patient on whom what he operated, the patient's parents, they came rushing to him. Where are you going? Without telling us what happened to our son. He had to rush. Somehow, he freed himself, but he rushed. Then the doctor's attendant informed the parents that his son died in a car accident, and since this operation was very urgent, he has attended to the operation. Now he is going to see the dead body of his son. So let us not judge anyone. Like people say, let us not judge the book by looking at its cover. The next one is focus on improving. This is one soft skill which I found many of us either not understood properly or not focused it what well properly. How did we sharpen our axe? In today's world, obsolete technology is dangerous, but obsolete human resources is disastrous. The pace of technological developments is so fast, so high, so intense that unless until we start improving ourselves, we might become irrelevant. For instance, look at a what I call old bench bus and a Volvo bus. A driver who got used to drive a bench or Ashok Leyland old bus, if you suddenly ask him to drive a Volvo bus, he won't be able to. He need to be trained. So my suggestion to the young managers is observe, adopt, and improve. Keep your eyes and ears open. What's happening? Look at the best practices. Adopt them. But don't be content with it, but start improving. Let me share a few qualities to inculcate. If some of you have them, refine them, make them better. Like say, if you're good, become better. If you're better, become the best. If you're the best, become outstanding. If you're outstanding, become excellent. If you're excellent, wow, that is total quality management. The first and foremost is the business acumen. Today's managers, they need to understand what is business, in what way they can what I call add value to the business. The second quality is the domain knowledge. Jack of all, but master of none. Let us be aware about the entire domain. Keep updating ourselves on a continuous basis. And the third and the most important is to work on communication skills. Communication is the hallmark of management. The way you communicate to your people matters a lot. Learning mindset. There was a time we had fixed mindset. Then people started talking about growth mindset. But today, the need of the hour is to have a fluid mindset, ever willing to learn and improve. Let learn, unlearn, and relearn be our mantra. Given the fact that it's the people who provide the cutting edge, as a manager, you must have the ability to get along. You must have the ability to carry the people, enjoy their trust. The next, risk bearing. Schumpeter, the famous economist, has said that profit is the reward for taking risk. You must be courageous in taking risks in terms of the decision making. And last but not the least, IQ, no doubt, imparted. But more than that, EQ, emotional quotient, understanding yourself, understanding your people. Then the spiritual quotient, being concerned for the oppressed and suppressed sections of the society. But in today's VUCA environment, there's one quotient which you all need to build or focus on. It's called adversity quotient or capability to what I call handle the unexpected things for which you need information quotient. If you wish to build adversity quotient, you need to have the information quotient. Thank you all.